Giant monster movies, or kaiju films, have been around for almost a century, beginning in the year 1933 with the release of one of the greatest films of all time and one of the godfathers of the kaiju movie genre, King Kong. Over the last 86 years, we have seen many amazing, incredible, groundbreaking, memorable moments from the genre, with most notably coming from the Godzilla franchise alone, and still stands as the longest-running film franchise in movie history with 36 films produced, with film number 37 releasing this year. Out of all the Godzilla films ever made, and there have been tons of great moments throughout the Godzilla franchise, tons of moments that I could have chosen over the others without question. This wasn't easy by any stretch. It was the moment that hit me first out of all the other great moments from the Godzilla films, but it is arguably one of the best moments in the franchise's history. And that moment was Godzilla's awakening scene from the 2004 film Godzilla Final Wars. The sequence lasts just under 2 minutes despite being short, but the moment plays out where the Earth Defense Force arrives to Godzilla's location, where Godzilla is being held in a deep frozen solitary confinement prison. The Earth Defense Force's flying transportation called the Gotengo is under attack by an alien kaiju threat. In just the nick of time before crashing, the EDF launches an attack of missiles into the sky aiming for Godzilla's prison. With the EDF crippled and on the brink of being killed, the giant alien monster known as Gigan pauses his advance, turning its attention to the destruction in the distance. All of a sudden, surprised attacked by a blue-colored beam, as the human characters stare and gaze as Godzilla himself rises from the ashes and rubble, angry and very pissed off. Where seconds later leads into an ensuing battle where the G-Man confronts the kaiju attacker and unleashes a big blast of his heat ray beam, blowing the monster's head clean off, only to hear nothing else but the sound of the defeated beast's corpse drop dead to the ground. Out of all the great moments in Godzilla's cinematic history, why did I choose this one specifically? First off, the execution of the whole moment is put together really well. The editing in this sequence flows great, the assemblage of every frame in this suspenseful moment hits all the right marks. The moment to when the human characters arrive under attack, to launching their attack on their objective, only for the action to pause briefly for surprisement and excitement to see Godzilla appear out of the flames and smoke. In addition, the combination of contemporary CGI mixed with traditional practical special effects really made the moment stand out. It was like a Showa-era style of kaiju action with a modern contemporary visual effect, at the time, layer to it. Not to mention the scoring from progressive rock artist Keith Emerson and film composers Nobuhiko Morino and Daisuke Yano really elevated the moment a lot. I will admit this wasn't the first time Godzilla made an entrance on screen in this particular fashion in the franchise's history, but that ties into my next two reasons why I personally chose this moment: the timing and place. The moment takes place at the climax of the film. A quick narrative summary: the human and mutant superhuman characters are being invaded by extraterrestrials, pushing all human and human-related civilization to complete annihilation. With all world resources of military, weapons, and combat action destroyed, the remaining survivors come up with a plan that they hope can turn the tide in their favor to stop the alien invaders, which is to unleash what protagonist character Captain Douglas Gordon, played by mixed martial artist Don Frye, calls the most destructive weapon on Earth: Godzilla. At first, Captain Gordon's comrades find his plan questionable and a really big gamble to take since they are all that's left and given mankind's historical track record with Godzilla. But Captain Gordon insists, based on his personal history battling Godzilla in the past, that if he stops Godzilla once, he will do it again. A consistent theme which has been a staple in the Godzilla franchise, which is mankind's arrogance to think they can control Earth's forces of nature, when in reality it's the other way around. Godzilla is more than just a weapon of great destruction, as Gordon's character knows him to be, but strongly believes, despite all the risks and little arrogance he has, unleashing Godzilla is the only way they have a chance to fight back against the alien invaders. This was the most dramatic part in the film, and given the fact that Godzilla is absent and not seen throughout the entire first act of the movie, the mere mention of Godzilla's name and the plan to unleash him into the fold really set the tone and build up going forward into this epic moment. For the most part, Godzilla Final Wars was an action movie in just about every aspect. Even the director of the film, Ryuhei Kitamura, is one of the biggest action filmmakers in Japan. And since Godzilla Final Wars was the last and final Godzilla film ever to be produced at the time, Toho Studios wanted the final installment in the Godzilla franchise to end on a thrilling note. And this specific moment in the film is thrilling in epic proportions, and this close-up shot looking deep into Godzilla's eye filled with fire and flame was an excellent touch. A cool little trivia, filmmaker Ryuhei Kitamura's favorite Godzilla film is Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, and is a big fan of the Showa era of Godzilla movies. This goes back to what I previously mentioned earlier, that the style and tone of Godzilla's awakening in Godzilla Final Wars had a lot of similarities to the Showa era with its execution. In addition, as a bonus, seconds earlier before the sequence takes place, there was a nice little Easter egg where two human characters are listening to composer Masaru Sato's fight theme from the 1974 Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla film in the background, which was a nice callback and little foreshadow for what was about to go down soon after.
They're coming to wake up Godzilla.
Regardless of what you think of the 28th film in the Godzilla franchise, this moment in Godzilla Final Wars was a memorable one. And given the reality at the time back in the day in 2004 that this was the finale of Godzilla on the big screen, and the fact Godzilla not being present throughout a good portion of the entire movie, to see the King of the Monsters make his entrance in this action-packed fashion was stunning. While proving that Godzilla is not just a giant monster, not just the most destructive weapon on Earth, but is the ultimate force to be reckoned with. All the necessary attributes required, and attributes that can make one epic, monstrous moment.
Listen, kid. There are two things you don't know about the Earth. One is me, and the other is Godzilla.